Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at 0.8.4 public test server. This is the tier 10 aircraft carrier Hakuryu. I wanted to check out the 4 torpedo variant of the Hakuryu because it was completely changed for 0.8.4. Prior to 0.8.4, 8.3, 8.2, 8.1, it was completely broken and nerfed into the ground. It could allow for 12 stealth torpedoes every 45 seconds that did Shimakaze torpedo damage. Yeah, completely broken. Now I wanted to keep the initial load in so that you can go through that 45-second delay that is going to be a part of 0.8.4. Tier 10 aircraft carriers, 45-second wait. Now, I don't have a problem with the 45-second wait. I think that maybe increase it further because surface ships really do need to get an established position before the aircraft carriers fly over. Now, obviously the engine boost, coupled with 45, effectively, it's a minute. Oh, and here's an example of the new torpedo. You'll note that 2.5 second aim, and they move really quickly. Now, watch as the squadron re-engages. Look how fast that is. There are no immunity frames here. You will take full damage immediately after dropping your torpedoes. Now, that is a very dangerous proposition, but as you will see, it's justified, and it might not even be enough, because these torpedoes do a butt-ton of damage. Now, obviously, I'm sailing over to the enemy. We're going to try and attack. But the 45-second delay is great for the surface ships, and honestly, it would be great for the aircraft carrier if they had more things to do. You know, like care about their team and try and set up a defense for maybe a weak AA protected ship. You know, that might exist, might not. Now, here's my first ever drop with these torpedoes against Yamato, and it shows it's really bad. But look at how quickly we took damage once again. And there is always the option that I could drop further away and use the full torpedoes run distance and avoid completely significant portions of the enemy's AA. I am choosing to be as brazen as possible because I want to compare and contrast. This is how most people attack aircraft with their aircraft. Oh, look at that. We did 20,000 damage with that single attack. Left him with a flood, which he's already used as damage control because he's a stupid bot. I just laughed at the comments. They're bots. Of course they're easy to farm damage on. I'm not here to discuss the bot play. I mean, look at this Minotaur. The Minotaur and the Hindenburg have literally sailed to 0.5 kilometers of each other, are stationary, and they are firing only their main guns at each other. Can we say dumb as rocks? Window licking? Yes. We can say all of those things because they're all true about the bots. But the whole point of this is theoretical. You know, if you are a skilled player, honestly, most carriers, doesn't really matter. Wargaming has stated, I think, publicly, that their intent is not to stop the drop completely, it's to make the drop have to suffer losses. And that might be great if the squadron didn't do 20,000 damage in a single attack run, 25,000 damage in a single armor-piercing attack run. I think the Hakuryu is set up to be absolutely the most broken experience ever in farming damage. I can't fathom how this isn't going to feel so incredibly broken. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the AA is, completely awful because they're bots, and maybe these numbers were just, way higher. I am attacking Yamato, though. It has literally the best torpedo protection in the game, and it's still taking significant squadron attacks. I mean, it's almost as if it doesn't have torpedo protection. So, my fear is this is going to be too good. And yes, you take damage. Yes, you fly over. But as you'll see, we lose aircraft for sure. But I can pretty much use these torpedoes on cooldown. even losing aircraft. Now, does that really feel like the reinforcement mechanic is working as intended? I even scramble a brand new squadron as I'm using a torpedo squadron, and we have all but 2. Remember, you lose 4 aircraft per squadron attack, and the way this is effectively set up, it works better for the mechanics of the game. The other torpedo is a pair, 2, and you can do that 5 times. But who the hell is going to go over the same target 5 times? It's effectively worthless. Whereas this one, you do one drop, you could even drop it in the drink, and then you do that initial drop, well, you're going to get last gasp. It's going to turn on instantly, so you have a boost in and a boost out. But we're going to give lead. I'm going to try and boost through the part of this where I take tons of damage. Clearly, takes tons of damage. The immunity frame's very noticeable, but you know what else is noticeable? Crap like this. This should never be possible. I literally turned right back towards an enemy Yamato. The 2.5 second aim occurred, and I dropped basically Salient flying straight down, and I hit 2 torpedoes, you know, for 10,000-ish. An accidental drop. I accidentally did 10,000 damage. Yeah. Thank God we protect those DDs, though, right? Because they are the ones who suffer the most right now. No, they aren't. And they're not going to be the ones suffering the most when this change goes in, if it goes in this way. I'm hoping that Wargaming will dial it back a little bit. And maybe a lot, right? It's just such a heavy squadron, and it works so well with the mechanics, as I stated. Having more retreat back to the aircraft is just so better than having constant and consistent squadron attacks layering over and over on the target. You're never going to get all 5 attacks done. So the 4 torpedo is just going to be the default loadout, and the default loadout does a ton of damage. So my concern is definitely there. But the greater concern, and this is why I wanted to make this video, aircraft carriers are not invested enough in their team's survival. They're too invested in farming damage. And in my opinion, farming damage is the last thing that carriers should do, because they're just too easy to farm damage with. I mean, you want carriers to feel like their actions matter, but then you want surface ships to feel like their actions matter. You know, where's it going to give? I'm sure this bot really loves taking 17,000, 19,000 damaging bombs in the same squadron. I'm sure he loves that. I'm sure that Yamato loved taking a 20,000 torpedo attack in a portion of the squad. It's just too much damage. And I just don't see how it's not too much damage. We've already gotten 163,000 damage, and there's 3 enemy ships left. And my intent is to kill them all and see how much we get. You just got to change the way the carrier perceives the game, guys. Really. Like, this isn't fun. They're not hard. There's no real counterplay. I mean, maybe there's a little counterplay, but wouldn't it be better if the enemy carrier and my carrier had more things to consider from a defensive standpoint? Wouldn't it be better if I could project a fighter to assist my teammates and have it scramble to an area of the map to help my teammates just from the carrier directly? And it has to be from the carrier directly, because that is incentivizing the carrier's location to the team. You know, look, I'm at the J10 line. Boy, the enemy team feels great, you know. Oh, we've captured all these bases. Oh, wait, it's going to take 5 minutes for the game to be decided. The enemy aircraft carrier can kill me in 5 minutes. All 3 of them. I will show you how easy it will be to kill them all. And it's counter to how I want the carriers to interact. You know, wouldn't it be horrible if DDs didn't do anything for the team? Battleships didn't do anything for the team? Cruisers didn't do anything for the team? Look at that. We just did 27 26,000 damage. We're matching the armor piercing in alpha. And speaking of armor piercing, let's switch right to it. Can we kill the GK with this squadron attack? Yes, we can! Another 20,000. Oh, look, we're up to 240,000. It's clearly way too easy to do too much damage. But I don't know that that's going to change in 8.4. Now, they could nerf, you know, this 4 torpedo, but it's not fixing the problem. It's more like a band-aid, and they need to fix the problem. The problem is that the carrier is not invested in the team, the alpha is too high still, and the players on the ground, the current priority sector isn't good enough. Advanced fire training is a bad skill. You've lowered the effectiveness. The mod 3 is worse for some, better for others, but you effectively have removed power from the AA, and you've given more power to the carrier. What? That doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right at all. So, yeah, we're still in this situation where they're... Oh, my God. I tell you what. Yeah, they're bots, and yeah, they aren't actively maneuvering, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's just too much damage. It's too high. I'm not disappointed that the quality of life has improved from the squadron, but I'm disappointed that the carrier is still farming damage, because I just don't see the carrier farming damage as a healthy mechanic. It's just too easy for them to get around the map, even in this slow state. Note that I'm going about 10 or 15 knots slower on average, but it's still fast enough that I can easily get over to the target and do full damage. We are going to miss out on that bomb run, but don't worry. Oh, our armor-piercing bombs that do 25,000. Oh, they're dead? Let's load in our torpedoes and do 26,000. I guess it'll work out. I mean, it's imbalanced. It's imbalanced, and it's just not working the right way. And obviously, it is closer to working the right way. I can see where these systems would make perfect sense. You know, projecting a fighter aura for your team, encouraging the aircraft carrier directly to be close. You know, maybe the carrier's distance is the ability to scramble that fighter, and the closer you are, the more effective your defense is for your team. I hate that the aircraft carrier has to wait 45 seconds to do nothing at the beginning of the game. I hate that the aircraft carrier is encouraged to use a fighter as merely a spotting tool to keep them forcibly spotted for their team and themselves, rather than what it should be to help their teammates. I mean, if I go look at Reddit, there's probably 3 or 4 screenshots of a carrier doing 0 damage, killing 0 aircraft an entire game. How is that possible? So yes, we have adjustments, and yeah, effectively it is better. But look at the kind of damage we did. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. We did 163,000 damage in torpedoes alone. Oh man, tell me what you think. If you'd like to watch more of my content, you can check out most recent and most relevant uploads. You can also subscribe to my channel where I do daily World of Warships, where I report on things like this. First impressions, reviews, how-tos. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.